Absolutely.
And the ticket card, I'm going to show you what is marked as States Exhibits number 10, 10.1, and 10 and 10.1. Do you recognize States Exhibits 10 and 10.1?
Yes.
What are they?
They are search histories for his Google account.
All right, and States Exhibit, that was 10.1.
Oh, I'm sorry. 10 is a CD that contains it. The exhibits of the Google records.
All right. So the Google records that you're referencing, are those the Google records that you obtained via a search warrant for the defendant's Google records?
Yes.
All right, Judge, I'm going to move to admit States Exhibits 10.10 and 10.1 pursuant to a business record certification, which is labeled and contained in States Exhibits 10.2,
Okay.
that testifies to the authenticity of the records from Google.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. States Exhibit 10, 10.1, and 10.2 are all admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I publish States Exhibit 10.1?
Yes.
And Detective Carter, do you have States Exhibit 10.1?
Sorry, I do.
That's all right. That's all right. So I'll publish it here, and I'll zoom in so that we can see. Can you see it on the screen as well?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'll zoom in as far as I can. All right. Starting here at the top, and contained in this document, are these different searches that were conducted on devices that were linked to the defendant's Google account?
Yes.
So explain to the jury how that works in terms of when you ask for records from Google, and it relates to searches that are conducted, how does Google collect and or how do you get that information?
One, it'll depend on what Google account you're logged into, if you have multiple different email addresses. And when you download a specific electronic device, it'll show Google searches that were conducted on that device that you were doing the search on. If you get records for Google period, it'll tell you searches that were searched using that Gmail account or that Google email account.
So for instance, if I have a desktop computer at my house, a laptop computer that I carry with me, and a cell phone that I also use, and all three of them are logged into a Gmail account or a Google account in my name, and I search something on my home computer, and then I search something on my laptop, and then I search something on my phone, are all of those searches cumulatively collected by and returned to you in when you request them from Google?
When you request them from Google, if you just download one device, you don't have to be logged into an email.
Okay.
It'll just show searches that were made through Google. But when you, yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
No, I'm sorry.
In regards to States Exhibit 10 and 10.1, the Google records, are these records cumulative, if you will, or do they contain searches that might be across multiple devices, all of which were logged into the defendant's Google account?
Yes, they are.
Okay. The first one here at the top of this document, States Exhibit 10.1, what is the search for?
So the search is for P2P police.
I'm sorry. So that's and you're reading the one right below it.
Yes.
The one at the top.
That is what came up and he visited after searching the second one.
Okay. All right. So the search was for P2P police.
Yes.
And then what resulted from?
Yeah. So if you see, this says searched, this is visited.
Understood. Thank you for explaining that. So the search was for P2P, excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied. P2P police, and then there was a link or there was a visiting of some site that related to P2P data sharing. What is that?
It is a website that law enforcement utilizes to share information. So if not all agencies feed information into that website, but if they do, you can search a term, search a name, search an address, and every department that feeds into that website, you will be able to get information. Some people give reports, some people just show that there was an when I say people, departments, I apologize. They may provide you the report, they may provide you that there was just contact, and they'll usually give you a case number.
Is this tool, the P2P tool, that you utilize, is it open to the public, or is it a law enforcement only service?
Law enforcement.
So does Gwinnett County Police Department utilize this service?
Yes, we do, but we only show names and show that we have contact. It doesn't give you any other information.
So if somebody from another agency were to look up a case or something from Gwinnett County Police, they might see that names and things like that, but would not be able to obtain a copy of a police report?
No, they wouldn't be. Sorry. No, they would not.
Okay. Now, if Gwinnett County did share its police reports, would somebody from, say, the city of Dorville be able to access, City of Dorville Police Department, be able to access the P2P site and obtain information from Gwinnett County cases?
Yes, if we did share that.
All right. And what was the date and time at which the defendant searched for these terms?
February 10th, 2023 at 2:35 a.m. UTC time, which would be February 9th, 2023 at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. I'm going to scroll down the page here to the next one and tell us what the defendant searched for and what was visited.
So he searched for Gwinnett County Teen Found, and he visited Gwinnett Family Notified Missing Teen Girl Missing Found Dead.
Okay. Now, the search that was conducted by the defendant on a Gmail account or Google account, what was this? When did that search occur?
February 10th, 2023 at 2:05 a.m. UTC time, which would be Eastern Standard Time, February 9th, 2023 at 10:05 p.m.
So in February, we're 4 or 5 hours behind. 5. So at
9:05. 9:05.
9:05.
Sorry, p.m.
That's all right. I just want to make sure that we're clear. So at 9:05, the defendant searched for Gwinnett County Teen Found. And at what time did he visit the result up here, which is Gwinnett Family Notified Missing Teen Girl Missing Found Dead?
26 seconds later.
26 seconds later. That's at, you said 9:06 p.m. approximately. How long after that did he try to access the P2P police sharing information service?
29 minutes later.
Okay. And we've seen this here, this visited site, how to obtain traffic camera footage in Georgia with Kane Law. Is that the same, excuse me, is that the same website that we previously looked at on the MDT?
Yes.
Okay. Is this one example of, I guess, what we've looked at here? His MDT being signed into his Google account and then logging information with Google?
Possibly, or he could have searched it on both devices.
Understood. Down here, the next two here, he searched for Mako. What is Mako?
They do body repairs on vehicles and paint as well.
All right. And when did he search for that?
February 9th, 2023 at 3:25 a.m. UTC, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 10:25 p.m.
All right. And what was visited?
The Mako website, Mako Auto Body Shop and Painting.
All right. Now, what time did that occur?
About 1 second later, it's February 9th, 2023, 3:26 a.m. UTC, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 10:26 p.m.
All right. So 10:25 a.m. and 23 seconds, he searches for Mako and then visits the body shop. 50 seconds later?
Yes, 10:25 p.m.
Okay. 10:25 p.m. In this case, did you obtain any information, did you learn about any possible damage that would have been to the defendant's vehicle?
Yes. During his interview, he told us that his window or his mirror was shattered the night that Susana went missing. And then while speaking with Avion, she mentioned scratches on his vehicle around that time.
Around the time that his gun was stolen?
Correct. Yes.
Down a little bit lower here, looking for this one. What was the search here? Gwinnett County teen found, when did that one occur?
February 9th, 2023 at 3:16 a.m. UTC, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 10:16 p.m.
All right. And then down here below, this one.
So he visited February on body found in Gwinnett County, identified as missing 16-year-old on February 9th, 2023 at 3:15 a.m. UTC, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 10:15 p.m. And that would be after he searched Gwinnett County teen found, which is the next line.
Okay. Understood. All right. So, down here. I apologize. All right. So the search was for Gwinnett County teen found at 3:14 a.m. or 10:14 p.m. February 8th, and then visited the site that's contained here.
Correct.
All right. All right. And then down here, we'll start here with the bottom. What was this search for here, February 9th at 2 a.m.?
Gwinnett County teen found.
All right. And even though I said 2 a.m., I know this is all UTC. We're going back 5 hours, so this is 9 p.m.?
Yes.
All right.
On the 8th.
And what visit did he make, or what website did he visit after that?
Human remains found in Gwinnett County, identified as missing 16,
Okay.
is what shows up.
And how long after the search did he visit that site?
12 seconds.
Okay. All right, and I can only show 2 at a time on here, but we're going to go through all 3 of these here. What was the, let's start here with the top one. What are we looking at here in this top search?
That's a URL for Fox 5 Atlanta.
Okay, so did the defendant visit that website?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and what was this website for?
It was for the previous visit. It was Duluth man charged in murder of Atlanta woman whose body,
Okay.
and its body was found in the woods. Is the rest of it up there?
Okay, so the when you visited the website, this website that you're talking about, the Fox 5 Atlanta, this was for, is it a news story?
Yes, it is.
All right, and what is the news story for?
It's regarding a man who was charged for murdering a woman in Atlanta whose body was dumped in the woods,
Okay. Now,
or found in the woods. I apologize.
when did that search occur?
August 6, 2022 at 4:19 a.m., which would be August 6, 2022 at 12:19 Eastern Standard Time.
And the next search down here that you've already referenced, the search, Duluth man charged in murder of Atlanta woman whose body was, and then of course it's cut off there, but what was the date and time of that?
It's the same date and time. The August 6, 2022 at 12:19 Eastern Standard Time AM or 4:19 AM UTC.
And this one right here, at the bottom of the page.
That is a URL for CBS 46, and it's a news article.
News article about what?
Arrest made, murder, Flowery Branch murder.
Okay. And when was this one visited?
August 6, 2022 at 4:17 a.m. UTC, which would be August 6 at 12:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Now, I want to take you just real quickly to another an exhibit that we just looked at here, contained in State's Exhibit 19.2, the Google Maps searches from the defendant's mobile data terminal, his work laptop, and just very generally here, I'll go to. You showed us, you demonstrated on the MDT record number 901, so I'll just go to that one. As it's contained here. All right. And so that we don't have to go back through the actual clicking of the link, but these searches that you've talked about, where the defendant was searching for QT near Tequila, or Highway 316, Merchants Metals, those searches that we've already gone through, what was the date and time of those searches?
So it is the same date, August 6, 2022. and it is less than an hour apart from exhibits, the referenced exhibits on 10.1. The times are 4:54 a.m.
So here in Exhibit
UTC.
10.1, you documented at 12:17 a.m. and 12:19 a.m. and at 12:19 a.m. he's looking at these news stories about a woman's body being found in the woods, and then by 12:54 a.m. he is on his mobile data terminal looking at Google Maps of the area where Susana's body was recovered.
Yes.
I'm going to take you, scroll down here to here. This one, July 31st of 2022. Can you tell us what this search was for?
Gwinnett County Police Report,
All right, and when did that one occur?
July 31st, 2022 at 1:33 a.m., which would be July 30th, 2022 at 9:33 a.m.
AM or PM?
p.m. Sorry.
All right, I know it's a lot of conversion. So that's July 30th at 9:30 p.m., so that's about 4 days after Susana was taken?
Yes, 5. Yeah, 30th, yes, 5. 4, sorry.
4, okay. Down here, these that say flock safety and flock hot list tool. Can you explain to the jury what flock is?
So Flock is a system that we utilize that has license plate readers, and they're located all around the county. We can log in, run a tag, and see where that vehicle's been, and it documents history for 30 days.
All right. So if a average individual is driving down the road in Gwinnett County or other places that have flock cameras, is their license plate automatically captured by those cameras?
Yes.
Okay. And flock, do they retain that information? Do they keep that information?
For 30 days.
For 30 days. Now, the flock, is that an independent company?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so they're a private company. Do you, as a law enforcement officer, have access to research and view information from flock?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, how do you do that?
I log into the website under my username and password, and I search for tags.
Okay. So you can search for, if you know a specific tag, you can
Yes.
type it in, and it will show you anywhere that tag has been captured on a flock camera for at least the last 30 days.
Correct. We can also search specific areas for makes and models of cars, or we can just search specific areas for all of the vehicles that were there at that time.
Okay. Now, in order to access it, you said that you have a username and password. Is that unique to you?
Yes.
All right.
It's for auditing purposes,
What do you mean by that?
to make sure we're not abusing it. So auditing, like the people, we have individuals at our department who are in charge of making audits to document what we're searching.
So, and maybe my next question as it relates to that is, are you allowed as a police officer to utilize the flock system for personal reasons?
No.
In flock, whenever you make a search, do you have to give any kind of reasoning as to why you're making that particular search?
Yes, you do.
All right, and how do you document that, or how do you make note of whatever your reason is?
We usually use the case number that the search is referenced to, or we'll use like a call number which is just like, a call number is when officers may be dispatched somewhere, but a case number is not pulled.
Okay, so is that kind of the police code that we hear sometimes that you would put in there?
No, it's not the police code.
Okay.
It's the documented number, so like a case number for that incident. You're not supposed to put the call number or like the code for whatever it is.
So you're supposed to, as you access and utilize flock, type in a case-specific number, whether it's an actual case number or kind of a pre-case number, if you will.
Yes.
To put in there. So if anybody is to go back and look, they can look at the case number and associate that search was related to that case.
Correct.
Okay. And the defendant on these looks like the search was for flock hot list tool. When did that occur?
July 31st, 2022 at 12:26 a.m. UTC, which would be July 30th, 2022 at 8:26 p.m.
And then was there any site that was visited?
Yes, he visited the Flock Safety website.
Is that the website that you go to in order to log in and actually conduct the searches?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so that was at 8:26 p.m. on July 30th?
Correct.
Okay. And then how long after that was the defendant searching for Gwinnett County Police reports?
Little over an hour.
Okay. I'm going to take you here to this one. And what are we looking at here?
He searched for Channel 2 News Gwinnett.
All right. And when did that occur?
July 29th, 2022, 12:38 a.m. UTC, which would be July 28th, 2022 at 8:38 p.m.
Okay. And then I'm going to take you down here to the bottom, the last page, page number 6 of this exhibit, 10.1. The search here at the bottom, what was the search for?
Gwinnett County Unsolved Murders.
The defendant searched for that when?
July 28th, 2022, 2:59 p.m., which would be July 28th, 2022 at 10:59 a.m.
Okay. And then was there a website that was visited as a result of that search?
Yes, there was.
What was that?
Unsolved Homicides, Georgia Bureau of Investigations, georgia.gov.
And how long after the search was that site visited?
10 seconds.
Okay.
And on the GBI website, there's a tab that you can go to look at cold cases
Okay.
or unsolved murders, missing persons, stuff like that.
Understood. The last search here, again, for Flock Hot List tool, you've already explained what that is, but when did this search occur?
July 27th, 2022, 8:48 a.m., which would be July 27th, 2022 at 4:48 a.m.
All right. I want to show you, I'm going to show Ms. Drake first. State Exhibits 20, 20.1, and 20.2. Thank you. Can you take a look at, and I'll just give you 20 and 20.2 at this point. Do you recognize those?
I do.
All right, and what is State's Exhibit 20?
It is his Flock search history that I obtained from Flock,
Who's
the company.
Who's Flock search history?
Miles Bryant's.
Okay, so did you request from the Flock company all the searches that the defendant had conducted through Flock?
Yes, I did. When I previously mentioned the 30 days, that's for like the pictures and stuff that we're able to access. Flock documents and keeps an audit of audit themselves of what we're clicking on and what we're doing.
So if we were to request yours, we would see every license plate number, every description of a vehicle that you've ever entered into Flock?
Yes.
Okay. We may not be able to see any photographs that you looked at, but we'll see the searches that you made.
Yes.
Okay. And State's Exhibit 20.2, what is that?
It is Flock records for Miles Bryant.
Okay. And Judge, I'm moving to admit State's Exhibit 20 and 20.2 pursuant to a business record certification contained in State's Exhibit 20.1 from the Flock company testifying to the authenticity of the records from Flock.
I don't have any objection to the disc and the business record certification.
Okay, so 20.2,
I believe
which one is the disc?
20.
20.
20, okay, so you have no objections to 20.1 and 20.2?
2. Not based upon the business record certification at this time.
On all three?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to admit State's Exhibit 20, 20.1, and 20.2 without objection.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I have permission to publish State's Exhibit 20.2?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Can you see that text recorder?
Yes, I can.
I'll just zoom in as best I can. All right. Here on the left column, the very left column, what are we looking at here? Without, you don't have to read out the specifics, but what generally is contained in that column?
This is the date and time the search occurred.
Okay. And the next one that said the column is titled reason. What is that?
That is the reason that was typed in that I previously mentioned we're supposed to put the case number or the call number for the search.
Okay. And then I'm just going to have you go over to where it says license plates, which is maybe the 7th column over. Do you see that one?
Yes.
What's contained in that column?
Include, and then CSV 66 or C Charlie Sierra Zulu 6617 CSZ 6617.
Okay. Is that the column where it documents what plates or description of the vehicles were actually searched by the user?
Yes.
Okay. And then also we kind of have a pared down version of that same thing all the way to the right in the column titled Pretty Filters?
Yes.
Okay. And I want you to start here with the first row there at the top and tell us what's contained in that row.
It was ran on July 31st, 2022 at 12:28 p.m. I'm assuming it doesn't have the conversion there. Reason that was typed was INV, which I believe means investigation. That's what we would normally put it. Has filters false on flock on the left side. When I mentioned you can put certain parameters if you don't know the tag itself, you can mention like a red Honda, stuff like that. So no filters were entered on this search. Corpus would be only plates because he's only searching for a plate. Offset 0. Raw reason again is the reason investigation. The license plate is what he typed. Auto text, I don't know what that is. And then pretty filters again is the tag that was typed.
Okay. So in this first search that occurred July 31st at 12:28, what tag was searched?
Charlie Sierra Zulu 6617.
Whose tag is that?
Miles Bryant's.
All right. And what vehicle is that tag affixed to?
A black Ford F-150.
That's the same black Ford F-150 that was seized and searched by the police department in connection to this investigation?
Yes.
Is that the same black Ford F-150 that the defendant claimed he was driving on the night that Susana disappeared?
Yes.
Okay. So the defendant searched for his own tag, his own personal tag, on July 31st of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. Take us to the, and you said it was at 12:28. Take us to the next one.
The next one is 1 minute, or not even 1 minute later, it's 7 seconds later, and which is July 31st, 12:29, time stamped. Same thing, investigate INV, false, only plates, INV, and CSZ 6617, which is Miles Bryant's tag.
Okay. So I think looking at this here, it's about 8 seconds later that this search occurs.
Correct.
The third row here, what is this one?
It is about 3 minutes later, July 31st, 2022, 12:32. And the reason this time that was typed was for image download.
Okay. What does that mean?
That's what he typed. So image download to me is downloading an image.
Okay. Can you download images that Flock obtains?
Yes.
All right. So if he searched for his own plate and then downloaded an image, he downloaded an image of his own plate?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the fourth row here.
July 31st, 2022 at 12:38. Again, INV, false, only plates, INV, CSZ 6617.
Okay. So, and again, this one at 12:38, so 6 minutes after the previous one that says image download.
Yes.
Again for his
Sorry.
vehicle?
Yes.
All right, and then the last one here, January 23rd, or January 20th of 2023, is that the date?
January 20th, 2023, yes.
Yes. All right, and what time was this one?
6:45.
What was the reason given?
Code 4, well, C4, which is code 4, which means I'm good. That's a police code.
Okay, and then ultimately what tag was searched on that day?
CSZ6617, and you can see the difference on how he typed it from the previous searches. He capitalized the C.
Okay. And so these records that are contained in State's Exhibit 20.2 are all searches that the defendant made of his own license plate.
Correct.
Is that authorized by, as a police officer?
No.
In terms of the reason given, you mentioned case numbers that have to be associated with searches. Were there any case numbers associated with any of these searches?
No.
And is that permissible?
No.
Those in that exhibit document the defendant searching his own tag. Did the defendant utilize Flock otherwise? Did he search for other tags?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your review of his of the audit that you received, do you recall how many different searches he made? Well, let me ask you a different question first, because I need to. What date range? Over what date range did you request records? Do you recall?
I don't recall the date. It was around the time, I believe it was around the time Susana went missing to when I requested the records.
All right, and I'm going to put up here just the actual records themselves. We've pared it down to make it understandable because this is what they actually look like. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know. I guess I can assume in Excel. We'll try this and see how we do. All right. So the first record here that's contained in his Flock records. When was the date of that one?
March 27th.
Okay. And I'm going to just scroll down to the bottom. Let's see if we can make this faster. Scroll down to the bottom. And the last date of search is down here. I'll try to zoom in. The last date.
February 10th, 2023.
All right. So after reviewing those records, it appears you got his Flock records from March 27th, 2022 through February 10th, 2023?
Yes.
Or at least the results that you received document those dates, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to, do you recall how many different records, how many different searches the defendant performed?
That's number 846, but I believe the first line is the label, so it's probably 845 searches.
Okay, 845 searches over that period of time. And of those, I see a tag here that is repeated multiple times. Can you see that from where you're sitting?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and what tag is that?
Tudypoo. TUDYP00.
Are you familiar with whose tag that is?
Yes, I am. That is Zenobia's.
How many times out of 845 searches, if you know, did the defendant search for Zenobia's plate?
That was a majority of his searches.
Okay.
It was a lot. I don't know the exact number, but it was most of them.
Okay. I want to take you to the defendant's, and Judge, I'm done with this for a moment. I'm going to take you back to the defendant's discussion with you in the interview about his stolen gun and the report he made to Officer Merkley with the Gwinnett County Police Department. When you were investigating the case, did you ever did you look to see if you could find any proof that the defendant called back to the Gwinnett County Police Department to report that he had found his wallet?
Yes.
And so you did look. Did you find any calls of the defendant calling to report that information?
No, I couldn't find anything.
In the interview, the defendant asked or stated that he did not call Officer Merkley